Okay, linear perspective review notes. Okay, this should be a review for you, which is why we're going fast. We're first going to talk about 1-point perspective. Linear perspective is a set of rules, not suggestions. Okay, this is non-negotiable. It's either wrong or it's right. There's no like, oh, you tried. No, no. You didn't if it's wrong. In perspective, we always start with the horizon line. Give yourself space below it and above it. We're going to do 2-point perspective on this page as well, though, so give yourself, well, I guess it doesn't matter where you do it. Just make sure you have room. This is our horizon line. It is where the sky meets the ground. Any of my kids remember from last year how far away the horizon line is from our eye? 9 miles. Thank you, Elle. Our horizon line is 9 miles away. I want you to know that, because when you draw a giant tree on your horizon line, that makes no sense. I'm going to be like, how far away is that? And you're going to be like, too far to draw it that huge. In 1-point perspective, we have one vanishing point. We're going to put that in the center of our horizon line for the sake of our notes. But it doesn't always have to be in the center. In 1-point perspective, I'm allowed 3 types of lines. They are horizontal. Horizontal means perpendicular to the horizon line. Parallel to the horizon line. It doesn't mean almost horizontal. It doesn't mean kind of diagonal. It means horizontal. We can also have vertical lines. Vertical lines are perpendicular to the horizon line, okay? Not kind of perpendicular, not sort of crooked and diagonal. They are vertical. Vertical and horizontal is not a, like, feeling. It's an actual thing, okay? And does anybody remember the weird word for lines that go to the vanishing point? Sounds like a dental procedure. They are orthogonal lines. Does that ring a bell? Orthogonal lines are lines that go to the vanishing point. That's it. 3 lines. If you're doing a line that's not straight up and down, straight horizontal, or lined up to a vanishing point, it's wrong. It's wrong. So in perspective, it's helpful to start with the part of our form or shape or whatever we're drawing that's closest to us, okay? Because whatever's closest to us isn't blocked by the things that are closer to us. That was terrible wording. We're going to start below our vanishing point and to the right, okay? What I want you to do is use your ruler and create a box, a square, or some kind of rectangle. Now every corner on that front shape, regardless of what it is, if it was a triangle or a star or a house or whatever, every corner we're going to connect to the vanishing point unless there's something in the way. So I can connect this corner, and this corner to the vanishing point. But if I try and connect this corner, I'm going to have to draw over the front of my box. And this is the closest thing to me, so I don't connect that bottom right corner. Make sure you spend the time to line up your ruler, okay? Lots of people just are lazy with their rulers. Most of the time, impatience is just laziness. Make sure you take the extra millisecond to line it up straight. Did that make sense, CJ? To close our shape, so right now it goes for 9 miles back, right? I don't want it to go that far. We're going to use parallel lines to the front of our shape, in between the orthogonals that we've already drawn. So those are some kind of big mathy words. Parallel lines to the front. Parallel means like running the same, right? They're never going to run into each other. So I want a parallel line to this edge in between the orthogonal lines that I already drew. And I know I'm only allowed these 3 types of lines. Basically, all I can do is draw a horizontal line in between those orthogonals, connect that corner to it, to a vertical. Let's do another one above it. Same process. Start with a square. Use your ruler. Do as I say, not as I do. That got kind of messy. I apologize. Now, sometimes we can break our what types of lines rules that we have in perspective if our front form, like our front shape, isn't made out of horizontal, vertical, or orthogonal lines. So what I mean by that is, what if I have a circle? So the corners of a circle are going to be where the vanishing point like first lines up with the edge of it. So wherever you can connect the edge of a smooth circle to a vanishing point, that's where you do it. You don't just like pick a spot and do it. You do it on the edges. So if I was going to close this form, it's not really like a parallel line because it's a curved line, but it's the same line. Okay, so this edge is a curve, so in between the orthogonals back here, it would be that same curve to close that shape. So that would make a cylinder. like shooting out of a cannon back here or something. I'm going to give you like 90 seconds to get everything that I have down. I'm going to move on when the kids in my room stop drawing. Any questions about 1-point perspective? Does it feel really familiar, or does it feel completely foreign, like I have no memory of this last year even though we did it? It's like I forgot trigonometry the second I took the final. I was like, sine, cosine, tangent, see ya. I love perspective. This is going to be a really fun project once we get to it. I'm excited. Okay, am I good to move on? All right, you guessed it. 2-point perspective. In 2-point perspective, there are 2 vanishing points. And there are, in this, only 2 types of lines that were allowed. Okay, now these rules can be broken if you don't have rectangular forms, but we can have vertical and orthogonal in 2-point perspective. So all of the lines that were horizontal in 1-point perspective now become orthogonal to the other vanishing point. So anything that is horizontal in like reality goes to a vanishing point in 2-point perspective. Verticals will always stay vertical. Okay, make sure you have space above and below your horizon line. We're going to make this kind of larger across. In 2-point perspective, our vanishing points are at the end of our horizon line. This is still 9 miles away. But instead of writing horizon line on this one, what I want you to write is I want you to write eye level. The horizon line is your eye level. As the artist, as the viewer, your eye level is in line with the horizon line. Which I want you to know that fact. Because if you know that things are above your eye level, then you know you're not going to be able to see the top of them. They're above you. And if you know things are below your eye level, you know you're going to be able to see the top, not the bottom. Okay. In perspective, we always want to start with the side or the edge that's the closest to us. So in 1-point perspective, it's a whole edge, or sorry, it's a whole side. In 2-point perspective, it's just a corner. So we're going to start with 1 vertical line. Make sure you have enough, like don't put it too close to the horizon line. Give yourself some space down below. 1 vertical line. That's how we start in 2-point perspective. Now, every line we make now is going to be connected to the lines we made right before it. So I have to draw some more lines that are connected to this vertical line. Well, if I drew another vertical line, that would just be the same line. So my only option is orthogonal lines. We're going to draw 4 orthogonal lines from each edge to each vanishing point. line up your ruler. So now we have like the sides of a wall, but we want to make it into a cube. I can only do vertical and orthogonal lines. So I just did all the orthogonals possible. So now I need a vertical line in between them. It's still going to be parallel to my front edge. When you're closing forms, that rule stays the same. Vertical lines. So seriously, process of elimination. To close this box that's below me, I need to be able to see the top, so I'd be able to see the top edge of it. I can only use orthogonal lines. And if I move my ruler around to these points, I realize the only orthogonal lines that I haven't already made are from these points to the opposite vanishing points. And then where they cross, that's like the back corner. So that's where the edge is. Let's do another one that is above our vanishing or our horizon line. Same process. Start with the vertical line. Then lining up. If something is above me, can I see the top of it or the bottom of it? The bottom, that's right. So if you're trying to draw the top of a box that's floating above you, you're crazy. I want you to add over here, above me, below me, when you're making perspective mistakes, which it's kind of inevitable you will, I'm going to say things like, is that above you or below you? Which is going to tell you, oh, I'm drawing the top of this when I should be drawing the bottom. Or, oh, I'm drawing the whatever, whatever, whatever. Or if you draw something really big that's really close to the horizon line, I'm going to say, how far away is that? And you're going to say 9 miles. And I don't know anyone who can see a tree that's 9 miles away that looks like this.